Um, so first off, okay, I just said this. My name is Godwin, visual designer. Well, I'm living in Lagos for now until we move out of Nigeria. So yeah, okay, check this. We handle quite a lot of projects from design to dev, mobile applications, and on and on. So what's brand design? So basically, brand design involves creating a visual identity to put up the service, and then it can encompass an entire image of an individual company organization. So basically, what this is saying is brand design is giving an image to a service, giving an image to a company, giving an image to an organization, giving an image to a person. Just like how Stutern has a logo, Stutern has colors, that's the brand identity of Stutern. So that's what brand design involves, giving a particular font, giving a particular color, particular style, particular feel and look. Just like how Apple has a silver look, Microsoft has a blue look. So that's the brand identity of those companies I just mentioned. How Slack is more a cool company, what makes Slack a cool company is the way they have formed their identity around them. They are not a serious company, more like fun, cool and all. Yeah, so brand design involves, it's not just logo, it ranges from logo to corporate identity to product design to websites as UI UX to packaging to physical environments like office stores. That's why Airtel shops are branded Airtel. Glow stores are branded Glow. Apple stores are branded Apple. So it's all part of the identity of the brand. And then social media. So if by any way during my course you have a question, please just let me know. I'm kind of rushing through all this. So steps to brand design. Basically, there are 4 steps in which when you are designing a brand, you need to consider. First thing is identifying or understanding the brief of the client. Say for instance, the customer or the client in this case sends a brief of, I want so and so. Now the client doesn't exactly know what he wants. So the client rambles, so to say. Now let me use that word. Client rambles when he's saying certain things because he does not have a direction of where he's going to. So he rambles a lot and says, oh, I want this in this way, I want this in this way, I want this in this way. So it is you as a designer that is meant to understand the nonsense in quotes of what the client is saying or the customer is saying, and then try to turn it out to something creative. And then the next step is your research and inspiration, where you go on different sites, you search and search and search based on the brief that you have understood from clients, where the client is trying to go, what the client is trying to achieve. And then based off on that, you get your background work done. So getting your background work done is checking, oh, the client is in this particular field, that is in the healthcare sector. So, okay, what colors are prominent in the healthcare sectors? We have blue, we have teal, we have cool colors, warm colors. So that's part of the research. Then inspiration comes to, going to Dribble, going to Behance, going to Google Images, going to Noun Projects. Noun Project is a site for icons. Going to nounproject.com, and then you get to see, icons relating to healthcare. Say for instance, icons relating to healthcare. And then in Google, status quo, there's the cross of the snake on the cross. There's the ambulance symbol, that's the cross. There's bandages, there's plaster. So those icons can tend to inform your decision on the kind of logo you'll be creating. And the logo forms the basis of any brand identity. First the logo, then other implementations. So implementations are the space, the brand design space or the environment. That's when you have the social media designs from the logo that I've created. That's the other thing spin off from. Then next step is idea and iteration. Now this is where you formed your research. You've seen a lot of things that are common in the healthcare industry, healthcare for instance, and then you sketch down your ideas. Now, if you have thought of, say, you've seen 1,000 things, now you can create something that is unique and then sketch down, say, 4 items or 4 logos that I think can be the logos. So after sketching it down, it's now time to move from sketch down to the tools you're meant to use. So I'll be coming back to the tools you can use in logo design and brand identity. So not necessarily your sketch doesn't exactly, that a sketch is fine doesn't mean that it will be fine when produced on your system. So that's where the iteration comes in, where what you have sketched out is not what you had in your head. So that's where you try to tweak and get to the perfect point that you're trying to get to. Okay, and then the last one is the presentation. So a logo is only as good as how you present it, or an identity is only as good as how you present it, because identity is far more than the logo. So getting the identity formed is one thing, then presenting it to the prospective client or the client is a different game entirely. That's where it comes to the business of design, where you can sell what you have created. Because at the end of the day, designers create jargons in a way. So it is, how can you sell the jargons you have created to the client, and the client says, oh, I'm mind blown. That's where the presentation comes in. So for the tools you can use in design, I'm aware there are design tools well, but yes, you can do your logo in all kinds of software, but it is best to do it in a vector-based software. Now there are vector-based softwares, and then there are raster-based softwares. Raster-based softwares are like Photoshop. Now raster and vector raster doesn't scale. Do we know this? Raster images doesn't scale, and vector images can scale. So it is better you do your logo in vector. Raster, R-A-S-T-E-R. So raster images can't scale. Say for instance, you design a logo in Photoshop in, say for instance, a dimension of 1,200 pixels by 1,200 pixels. That's the dimension of the logo. If you want to use the design on, say, a website of 4K, that's 3,000 and something by 2,000 or something, when you put the logo there, it's going to look very obscure. And then if you try to increase the size, it doesn't scale up because it's a raster-based image, not a vector-based image. Now for vector-based images, they use mathematics and vector, so it can scale to any size possible, no matter how big, no matter how small, without losing its unique look. So that's for vector and raster. So basically, it's best to design a logo in a vector-based application, some of which are Illustrator, we have CorelDRAW, Affinity Designer, and a couple of others. But the industry standard, quote unquote, now is Adobe Illustrator. You can design a logo in Figma, but please do not design a logo in Figma. It's going to come out as crap. No offense. So every software you can design a logo in every software, but not the software wasn't made for logo design. So it's best to stick to the software that was made for brand design and logo design. Just like how certain softwares like Adobe InDesign wasn't made for posters, it was made for documents. So doing a document in Adobe InDesign will be easier than doing a document in Adobe Illustrator. Doing a poster in Photoshop will be easier than doing a poster in Illustrator. So these things you have to consider, what am I doing to know the software you will use for you to achieve the best results. By the end of the day, get comfortable in any software. That is good. Okay, so we're meant to do practical engagements, but I'm guessing that might not be possible again. So what I'll try to do is walk through what was meant to be, and then we hopefully get the hang of it. Yeah. So as I said earlier, the first steps is you receive the brief from the client. You have to understand the brief first. From understanding the brief, then that's when you go into research what the client has said, research icons that are related to the industry that the client is in. Say for instance, this brief.
The screen stop showing. So sorry.
Okay.
You have to be somewhere, right?
No, exactly.
Because I heard that you want to skip a particular session.
No, I'm trying, like, I wanted to do particular session on my laptop.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not exactly. Is there Illustrator installed there?
Got it.
But I will try my best to hopefully get the end of it. Okay, if there's an HDMI cord, like HDMI to HDMI. Yeah. Okay, so this brief was from a client in 2018. Okay, so the client was like, he wants to educate, he's trying to build an organization where he can educate teenage boys on how to behave in the society, how to live, basically bringing up the male child in the right way. So he sent a message to me, oh, says, I have this idea, trying to call it the Growing Teens Boys. What is it about? It's trying to just educate young boys in becoming a responsible part of society. I'm like, and that was all he said. And says, oh, so as a designer, as a brand designer, there are certain questions you used to ask the client to bring out what exactly you're looking for. So I had to probe further and ask that, okay, what exactly are you trying to achieve with this? You want something like safe haven for boys, or you want to educate the boys? Because those are two different things. Safe haven for boys is, say for instance, stand to end rape is a safe haven, but something like hands off is an educational organization. So the way you position the logo's identity should be different. If you want something where people can run to you for help, it's different from how you position something where you want to teach people how to do certain things. So he said, okay, they want something warm, receptive, something that exudes confidence. So as a brand designer, you need to be able to ask certain questions that your client cannot think of at first. Because all is in his mind is not the identity. All he's trying to do is achieve a goal. So it's up to you to ask certain questions that will make him think more and then push out things that will be useful to you. Yes, so in the research or mood board, so this is what I talked about, looking through a lot of materials, looking through icons, looking through pictures, what I was trying to achieve. So from what he sent, I could pick out, oh, he wanted something warm, something young, something confident, something loving, and something that represents family. Because what's making the teenage boys misbehave is probably one of these can be lack of a good family or or a bad family setting. So taking those keywords, now we'll now expand on each of the keywords. So you visit Pinterest, you visit Dribble, visit Behance, visit icon sites, then use these keywords to search on what they mean. So warmth, what does warmth represent? If warmth doesn't have an icon or a pictorial representation, what color can exude warmth? Is it purple? Is it warm? Is it blue? So these certain things are so like not like an example of colors that exude young can be anyone give me a color for young, something that feels young. Orange. I mean brown is an old color. So orange is a very exciting color. It's young. Um yellow. Yellow is bright, it's youthful. That's something. No. Okay. Gray. Gray. Green. Okay, green can be young depending on how we use it. Say for instance, a light shade of green can be young, but the darker shade of green can seem old, vintage, it can seem we're experienced in this. And then gray is very corporate. Gray means I'm not here for nonsense, I'm here for business. A reference to 50 Shades of Grey. Wow. The guy's office description was all glass, painted white, painted gray. A businessman stays to the business. He does not have time for anything. This is his corporate world now. And then, okay, the next word is confidence. So things that exceed confidence. Now, the first three are indicating the color, and then the last two are indicating the icons and what represents them. So for loving, examples of icon or things that seem loving. Say for instance, the art icon. Art icon is the best example for loving. And what other icon can seem loving? What other icon can seem loving? Sorry? Yeah, home. So home is loving. Do you guys have access to internet? Yes. Okay, yes. So can just go on thenounproject.com. Thenounproject.com. Let me see if I can access it here. Sorry? Okay, so you search for, say for instance, loving now. Search for loving or search for love. You aren't giving a heart. So in the bond we are trying to create, they aren't giving a heart might not represent what they are trying to do. The aren't giving a heart is good for charity. It says more like we are helping you out, want to give you, want to take care of your needs. That's more like what the art on hand indicates. What other icon is there? Let me just search here. Two palms. Yes. Yes. So two palms is should I say helping out? Yeah, it should be more of caring. So it is, oh, we care for you. We are here to lend you a hand. So these are the things that inform what our logo should look like eventually. And then if we scroll down, okay, there's course in the arts, there's the love letter, there are balloons of love, and there's the dove, there are couples in love. Basically, a lot of art emojis or art icons. So the last thing on the last keyword we form from there. These keywords are 5. Let me scroll back to the brief and see if you guys can come up with any other keyword that is from the brief. So the Going Things Boys is about educating young boys on becoming a responsible part of society. We want something that exudes warm confidence. So apart from the ones we listed here, sorry? So apart from warmth, young, confidence, loving, and family, what other keyword? Boys, educative. So we go back to our noun projects. Then this is where the opening of a million tabs comes in, where we open Dribble, we open Behance, and try to search for inspiration or direction to what we are trying to do. Okay, so try to search for educative. So for educative, searching for educative might not work. So you try to search for education, try to search for knowledge. What else is a synonym of education? What else? Books. So education. So for education, we have CAP, we have books, pen, and then the last thing within last thing that was there was family. So for family, when you search for family, you get things like avatars of a happy family. You get an example of a home. You get the hand taking care of children. Basically, this is like, we can say this is the parents and taking care of their children. This is a happy family. This is a nuclear family. Nuclear family, family in a home. Basically, it shows excitement, shows care, it shows love, it shows everything they're looking for. So now we move into trying to sketch out our ideas. We have ideas of what we want to achieve now. So we'll try to move into what we want to do. So at the end of the day, this was the logo. Now, from this logo, what icons can you pick out from what you searched before? there's the love, there's the family, there's the love and there's the family. And then, okay, just before we move on to the purple colors. Now this is where the quote and unquote the line starts from. Let me use that word. Now you want to sell to your client that this is what this represents. Until you tell the client this is what it represents, the client might not see it. The client might just see, oh, this is love. This is the family. Now, an hidden meaning is if you draw a line like this, it forms a home. Say, for instance, yeah, I might not be able to walk you through Illustrator, but I'm hoping when you get your way around, now it works. Okay. Illustrator is a very funny place. It has a lot of tools. So as I was saying, this is where the cunningness begins. So if you draw a rectangle over this, you can also say, oh, it takes the shape of a home, which is O. Now, this is the storytelling behind the logo. This can mean mother, father, and a child. So you can say this is the parent loving the child in a home. Now, obviously, this is not written here, but if you tell the client that, it's going to be mind blown. That's where the presentation comes in, where you have to sell the little idea you have to the client, and then the client is mind blown. So this is the parents loving the child in the middle, or assume the child is male in a home. It can also mean bringing up the child in a loving setting, where the home is the setting, the art is the loving environment. So is there any other meaning you can bring out from this, apart from those two? Now move to the colors. There's the orange, there's the yellow, there's purple, and then there's blue. So the orange warmth, like we said, young, exciting. Yellow, young, exciting, receptive. The blue is welcoming. Most places where there's blue, there's welcoming. Human beings are more likely to talk to someone wearing blue than someone wearing black. Because to you, if you're wearing blue, you are cool, you are friendly. If you're wearing black, you don't give a fuck. Sorry to use the effort. But yes, it is it is perceived like that, where the brighter the color, the more receptive you are supposed to be. The darker the color, the more likely you are meant to be an assassin. So it works hand in hand. And we are not trying to chase away, but you're trying to welcome them into an organization. So the essence of the blue. Now the random purple was to show royalty. Now, how do you make someone that is an outsider feel welcome? You make someone that is an outsider feel welcome by making the person feel special, making the person feel like royalty. So that's the essence of the purple. The purple is for royalty, mostly gold, purple, exotic colors are for royalty. So you're making this is also saying you're making the male child feel very special, feel like a king in the family. Now, all this story, what I sent or what was sent to the client was, a secret behind this logo. When I did this, I had no story behind it. Like I didn't have a story to tell. I knew how it came about. And then the client asked, so I'm going to try and read the conversation. The client asked, oh, so what does it mean? And then for a second, I'm like, I need to sell this logo to this guy. If not, he's just going to look at it and say, oh, his art, his family, and then it's people living in it. So this is what I sent. I said the name of the organization is the Growing Teen Boys. So what I sent was the Growing Teen Boys is about educating young boys on becoming responsible. And you get the drift. And charity begins at home. First keyword, charity begins at home. The family setting. Thus, the family representation of family. The art is educating with love. Now, there's no education in this logo. But if you tell the client, oh, it means educating a male child with love, you can see love in the logo, which it completes the gaps in the client's mind and says, I see what you're talking about. And then lastly, the purple in the middle signifies masculinity, as well as to tell the story of royalty as a king. And then it goes, oh my God, I'm actually screaming. And then all what I said, it turned into a story of masculinity embedded in love, either from family or society, raising kings. Masculinity embedded in love, either from family or society, raising kings. Seems far-fetched from what the logo is, but that's what it is. So the idea of society is the smallest unit of the society or of a nation is family. Raising kings or raising masculinity embedded in love, either from family or the society raising kings. So we got the colors right, we got the logo mark right. Now what is left is the font choice. Now the iteration comes in. Okay, I can't find the iteration here. There were 1,000 iterations to, what font would go well, how would the fonts be? So this was what it ended up as. Where it looks serious, where Team Boys is not the focus, because if we focus too much on a niche, it might be a little bit sexist. So there are certain things you need to consider. Yeah. On a niche. Yeah. So even though they are trying to focus on teenage boys, if you make teenage boys very prominent, it's going to be sexist. It's going to be, what about the girl child? What if he's a youth? What if he's a man? What if? So different what ifs start to come into place. So as a brand designer, you are meant to live in the time that you are. Certain designs that worked in 2010, no matter how fine, will not work in 2020 because the world has changed in between a decade. Certain things will not fly, and certain words will not go well. So you need to consider that where going is the main keyword. Team Boys is like a subcopy. So if tomorrow they're like, we're no more focusing on boys, we want to focus on just teenagers now. Eliminating this and adding agers to form teenagers makes the logo look as if it didn't change, but at the same time, it has changed entirely. And then the representation can still remain the same, where you can say, okay, the purple is for male, yellow is for female. I mean, these icons are not gender focused, so you can always give a new representation to. That makes the logo timeless, where over time it changes without it changing. So that's the whole point of a brand also, it should be timeless. So back to presentation. The very best way to sell a brand is before sending just the logo to the client, or just sending, this is how the logo was gotten, icon plus. I'm going to show you a document that was done. I couldn't put it in my slide because it's confidential, but I'll share it. Open nobody's screenshots. So, say for example, now this is a presentation. Now, most times the client will not give you copy or content, and it is always best to deliver designs with actual content and not lorem ipsum. In as much as you are saying, but I don't know what the client is doing. As a designer, as a brand designer, you're meant to think of, put yourself in the shoes of the client. and not put lorem ipsum, because the more lorem ipsum it is, the more vague the design is going to look, either for website, either for packaging. Just assume you are the client, assume you are the user, and put yourself in the shoes. So the copy was by me, and then implement the logo where it looks nice. This is a Twitter header, a Facebook header, and then you give it to the client. So you're giving the client a whole package where is in a way, in a tight corner to say no, because you're seeing the logo, you're seeing how it's being used, and it's beautiful. So you can't say, oh, you know what, I'm not sure I like this again. You can see it in use already without just going any back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. So what else is in the slide? So idea annotation, then presentation. Okay, so let me go one more example for now. This was the brief, just this. Are you leaving the code of conduct? You know, person is trustworthy. So this was for an internal communication for animal group, where we are trying to achieve. This was done by my agency, or the agency I work with. You're like, okay, we want to exhume our code of conduct to our staff, just to remind them of how to behave. And then we're like, okay, send in the brief. And they sent in a one-page PowerPoint. One page. Yeah, one page. This was it. All I'm meant to do, create 8 posters, 8 screensavers, a logo, and then other materials like probably lapel pin, and this was the brief. So now you're wondering, what are you going to do with this? But you can't force the client to give you more than what he has given you. If he says, this is all I have, that's all you take. There's nothing you can do. You can't go to his house and strangle him or strangle her. So where do you kick off from here? We understand the code of conduct. We are trying to say, okay, the person is trustworthy, person complies with control measures, person neither accept or give bribes, person is ethical. So the key or the top points you can take from here is, these are sentences that are quite long, but if you are trustworthy, if you are ethical, these 4 or these 5 shouldn't be a problem. That's when you start separating the shaft from the actual contents. Because if someone is trustworthy, if someone is ethical, if you are trustworthy, you won't collect, if you're ethical, you won't collect bribes or you won't accept or give bribes. If you are trustworthy, you will maintain confidential information. If you're ethical, you will use company resources quite well. If you are trustworthy, you will compile with the measures set in place in the organization. So that's where the understanding brief comes in. It separates what is needed from what is not needed. So now that we know what trustworthy and ethical is, it's time to go for our research, searching for icons that mean trustworthy, icons that mean ethical. So this is what a general idea annotation board looks like. 1,001 options, 1,001 changes, just to get where you're going to. Trying to get the initial. Okay, so it's the same process where you go to an icon site, search for certain things, look for dribble, you search for certain things. So from this icon, what can you derive from those code of conduct? Let me open the code of conduct again. So there's trustworthy, there's ethical. You can just check now project and search for any of these ones and see how it relates to the code of conduct. So from here, what can we see from here? The very, very obvious things. Yeah, the skill, that's the Lady Justice. Yeah, so lady justice is can mean ethical, where you are fair. You you don't overdo things, you are just. That's where the skill comes in. And what else can you see from here? Sorry? A tie. Yes. So it represents the corporate side of the organization. They didn't tell you, oh, we are very corporate, or we want to see a tie in the logo. Now, putting a tie in the logo has to fit in with the logo. It's not just, oh, I want a lion head, and then you cut out a picture of a lion head and slap on the logo. So now this is incorporating that as a staff of our company is corporate, and we expect you to be just and fair in all you do. Now this rhombus, this is a rhombus that is cut, that is from the organization's logo, where the organization's logo is a rhombus. Honeywell's logo, Honeywell Group, their logo is a rhombus. So that's where this is gotten from. So that's the first option. Now, what can we see from this option? The rhombus symbol, that's this. Okay. 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 Timer. Wow. None of this was in mind when this was done. So when I said it, you probably see it now. So this is a scroll that is opened, like 10 Commandments scroll. Why is it a scroll? From Code of Conduct, 10 Commandments, set of rules and regulations. Olden days, a scroll. So how do you make the scroll look nice? Sorry? Looks like rolling pin, right? Yeah, so this is where the explanation comes in when you're presenting. So you can present what the icons represent in the logo by saying, okay, that open thing represents a scroll where the code of conduct is being written. Now, if you didn't put this here, the client might be, oh, it's probably a cooking instrument. Because, I mean, they are the same thing. They look the same. So it's not up to you to just chip it in somewhere that I'm pointing in this direction. So when they read this, if they thought it was a rolling pin before, when this is read, they go back to it and say, okay, I see the scroll now. So that's what you're trying to do. You want to make them think like you after you have given them what is needed. So another option was this. What can we see here? What can we see here? A check mark. Okay. Just a check mark. Anybody else? Okay. Okay. So I mean the obvious ones, the rhombus, two rhombuses. And then the check mark for a quality check for since conduct means keeping in check, staying in check. The check mark for that. Now this is also a ballpoint head. In the olden days, the kind of pen they use, if you notice when you check it, like the vector tool for pencil in Figma, it's almost like this, where it is a ballpoint head. So that's supposedly a ballpoint head.
Yeah. Yeah. Why was it used?
Why was it used? Corporate. Honeywell Group is an old organization where in some time in their life, they must have used calligraphy pen to sign documents. Yeah, so it just speaks to their old age, speaks to that, and also speaks to writing down the code. I mean, what is written down cannot be forgotten. So make it known. This is where you can crack up the clients, write down the code and make it plain on tablets so that people may run with it. Coined from the Bible verse of write it down on tablets. Yeah. So that's that. Now you don't just send your clients the three things I just did. That's where presentation comes in, where you put it in use. Say for instance, a PowerPoint header. Now this is an example. This is the first logo in use. This is the first logo here. This is it in use. So there are different ways you can implement logos. You have to find the right way. This is an iteration from the first one also that wouldn't work well. So this one wasn't looking exactly nice. So what you do is you iterate. This is an iteration of the second logo. This is it in use again. This is an iteration of the third. So iteration and presentation is where you have to make the client know that whichever logo you choose, or whichever option you go for, it can be made into something very meaningful. It can be made into something beautiful. And then this is where the color options come in. So you look through colors, 1,000 colors, 1,000,000 colors, try to choose which color fits what they're trying to go after, what they're trying not to do, what they're trying to do. So any question from this?
Final decision. Is it that makes final decision?
No, the client makes the final decision. But if you know the client's decision is going to tend towards something, it shouldn't tend towards something bad. Why? Because what you present should never be bad. So that's where it comes from. You don't send in 3 options and pray the client doesn't pick one. When the client doesn't pick one, means you know one is bad. So it should all be these 3 options that you're sending out to clients. There are probably 7 that you did without the client knowing. And these 3 were the ones that you couldn't decide out of which works best for the client. So now you throw your confusion and throw it to the client. Now there are people that do just one logo option and send to the client and tell you that's fine now. There are levels to it. So you probably start off sending 3 logos. When you're starting off, at some point you were sending 4 logos. I sent in 4 logos when I started designing. I wish I knew better. So when you send in 4 logos, you stand a worse chance of getting rejected and getting accepted. Because you are trying to tell the clients, me myself, I'm confused. I didn't understand what you sent to me. So I've sent you 4. Pick whatever you want, which is bad because generally people are indecisive. So you get to limit their options. So now you cannot limit their options to 1 good and 2 bad. You have put them in a corner. You have to give them 3 good or 3 best. And then they have to fight within themselves and see which one does my spirit really link with. Yeah, so that's where presentation also comes in. Okay, so 3 things, let me just sharply talk about. Building a portfolio, what employers look out for, and how to find opportunities. So the first one, building a portfolio. That's probably the hardest thing you ever face as a designer. Whether UI, UX, whether brand, whether products, whether any form of design. Building a portfolio is probably the hardest thing you ever do in life because it will never be good enough for you. You do a portfolio now, 3 months you have gotten better, and you're like, you know what? I can't use what I did 3 months ago. Now, to create time to do a portfolio is another thing. You do something that is, crazy. And like, no, I don't like it. So as a designer, building a portfolio is probably the hardest thing to do. But the act to doing it is all your projects are not being your portfolio. Pick your 3 favorite projects, work on it extensively, check other portfolio websites. Oh, what do they have in it? Certain things that they have in it, what don't they have in it? Then do it. My last time I did my portfolio was in 2017. And that was when I started working. I've only been a visual designer in the corporate space for 2 years and counting now. Started working in 2017 full-time as a designer. That was the only time I did my portfolio. I'm a visual designer, so I do all forms of design, but major in branding. So from event branding is my portfolio, motion graphics is in portfolio, what else again? Brand identities, social media flyers, all of that in the portfolio. What's in portfolio is not the length of what I've done by 2017, but I picked which projects are visible enough for people, which projects do people relate to. In the event branding I put in my portfolio, I've done several events, but 2 stood out of all the events I've done: PyCon Nigeria and TEDx Common University. So obviously, PyCon for developers to relate, TEDx University for those that know Common University to relate, those that know the TED platform to relate. So those projects speak volume of what you have done. So they can easily influence people to say, oh, seems like a really good person, give him the job. As a designer, quote and unquote, you scam people. I never said this. So what I'm going to say is, you fake it till you make it. You work on 10 projects. 8 of the projects are probably by underdogs, like nobody knows their name anywhere. But the 2 you manage to work on that people know them, those are the 2 you put in your portfolio. Nobody cares about those 8. You don't care about those 8. You have made your money, Only 2 appear in your portfolio. When people see those 2 big dogs in your portfolio, they're like, this guy must be a very good designer for him to have landed these 2 projects. Even if those 2 projects were exposure. Now that's where it comes in as a young designer or as a growing designer. You might not get a lot of paid projects. I'm not saying do free projects all your life, but there are certain times, there are certain situations where you have to take on a project where you might not get paid if you weigh the outcome from it. Say for TEDx Common University, I never got paid. Why? I volunteered. When I wanted to volunteer, I thought, this is TEDx Common University. It's the first TEDx in Ogun State. Yes. So it puts you on that map of pioneer. Now it makes you manage the whole project as a designer and say, okay, I did this. I was part of the pioneer team that did this, and this, and this. It was the first TEDx University in Ogun State, in West African. Now if you are given an international client your portfolio, and it says TEDx Common University, even if it doesn't know Common University, it knows TEDx. And then it says, let me see if this is a big school. Google's Common University. It says it's a good school in Nigeria. Oh, that means probably has enough experience to undo certain projects. So you need to look out for certain things that can boost your portfolio, certain projects that they might not end up being paid. It might be a redesign of something you saw. And then you're like, I think I want to redesign this and put it in my portfolio. But make sure you just indicate that it's a proposed design and you are not contacted for it. Now, seeing that people might see now, I like this logo. Just like the example of the guy that did the nursing logo, Farouk, where he just did the logo on Twitter, and then eventually he got a sitting with the CEO. Now, they didn't use the logo, but everybody knows Farouk. So if he says, you know what, I'm setting my logo base at 100K, no 100K, if it's either 100K or nothing for a logo, people are going to come to him still because, I mean, he has done work for Innosim Motors, even though it was never used, even though it was free, but it got him to places. So there are certain things you have to weigh when you are building your portfolio. Now, what employers look out for? I've been privileged to basically recruit for my agency for the past 1.5 years, and I've seen 1,001 portfolios, I've seen 1,001 CVs, I've seen 1,001 dribble links. But there are certain things we look out for when people submit what they are submitting to us. So as an agency, we send out a mock brief for you to do. And the brief we send to you is in no way related to any project you are doing. It's just for us to test your skills. So there are certain things we look out for in what you submit to us that will make us say, is just coming up, or is a badass designer, or she's just coming up, she's a badass designer. So first thing that stands out in what employers look out for is your presentation. How do you present what we have given you? In the brief we send, I'm talking from the agency I'm working now, from what I've seen. We send out the brief. There are certain things we put in the brief that we expect to see a result in whatever you're sending. So first of all, if whatever you're sending, we don't see certain touch points, it's like, it's a demerit for you already. So then, if your presentation is top notch, that sometimes you don't even bother to look at the logo because you are wowed by, oh my God, this is a mad presentation. If someone can do this mad presentation, obviously the person should be good. So there are certain expectations that your CV most times doesn't matter, or probably where you have worked can matter, if where you have worked can matter. But then presentation, and then so that's it, timeliness. We don't give a time frame to when you submit our mock design brief, but we expect that 5 to 10 days, working days, that's 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, is enough for anybody to do a small logo and present it to us. Because we assume everybody has a 9 to 5. So if you work 9 to 5 and you do it during the weekends, you have about 2 days, 4 days during the weekends to do it. You have that when you come back from work by 5, you can work till 10. So we assume these things and say, we are considerate. In our mind, we are giving you 2 weeks, but we'll give you no cap. So if you submit it in 3 weeks, you're like, it's been a while, 3 weeks, let's see. If the weight of 3 weeks is not what the result of 3 weeks, we see it as, the person's creative process is probably slow, or the person likes to take his time when he's doing certain things. Because we expect that if you have kept us waiting for 3 weeks, what we see after 3 weeks should be like, this is mad. This is what the 3 weeks wait. This is what the 4 weeks wait. So timeliness and then presentation are the two major things. Apart from that, there's really nothing we look out for again. Past projects, we have any same portfolio, so we know your past projects. And then also find opportunities. So finding opportunities, to be honest, is by networking. That's the first in networking. Most of the people who sent out brief to the agency are not people that reached out to us. They're people that someone will say, oh, this guy is good, or this person is good. I saw this person somewhere, and the person says looking for a job. You should try out this person. Say for instance, an example of during the past Gokada layoff, there are some people that lost their design jobs, and then someone just clicked out and said, I know someone that lost his or her job. Is there any free space open? I can vouch for the person. Person does this, person does this, person does this. I'm like, okay, cool. Just tell the person to send in our email. I'll send you the brief for you to do. No need for portfolio, no need for CV, nothing. Just do the brief, deliver. Now, if the person gets the job, if the person doesn't get the job, person hasn't necessarily seen me, person hasn't seen the company, probably just Google the company. Person hasn't put in the work of applying for a job online. It's just by knowing certain people that can put in a good word for you. So first of all is have a good network. The second is join sites that give you job openings. Start like Dribble, start like Behance. There are job openings on there that you can always get. And then there's Twitter. It's funny how a lot of job openings on Twitter if you follow the right set of people. Most of the designers that work at the agency currently find them through Twitter. Say for instance, I'm sure we should all know who Leslie Williams is. Leslie. So Leslie posts something and says, you know what, put your work under this thread. Now, you can call Leslie an influencer in the design community. If he says, put your work under this thread, I stumbled upon the thread and I continued to go through for 2 days, viewing people's work. It might just be a screenshot, it might be a post, it might be a link to a drive. I'm just viewing people's work. I see something I like, screenshot it, follow the person, DM the person. What's up? Are you available? If you're available, send me your email. Let's talk. It's as simple as that. So most of the people that currently work at where I work, found on Twitter. I currently work at the agency by them DMing me. I was in school, they DM me, and I'm like, oh, cool. So network with the right people, get your portfolio up, visit job listing sites, Dribble, Behance, most likely designer job listing sites. And then once you go, opportunities find you. You don't need to find opportunities, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, people can hear of madness you have done. People can, they can sense that, yes, you have gotten there, and then people start to find you. You need to find people again. That's when you can start behaving like a proud person and say, you know what, I'm not ready to join you guys. I only want to do international jobs. But before you get there, you have to find people first before they can find you. Yeah, I think that's all. Do you have any question, branding, or anything related? Before we wrap up for the day. So, brief story about me. I've only been designing for 2 years plus professionally. I've been freelancing since 2016, since 2015. Then I started working professionally in 2017. I don't count 2015, 2017 because if I'm being honest, I was in crap. So I don't count those 2 years. But those 2 years are, like I said, the working years where you do a ton of stuff. You churn out a ton of stuff. It might not be fine. Your friends around you might tell you, oh, this is mad, this is mind blowing. Now, they are not lying to you, but each level is limited to what they can see. There are times to encourage you and say, okay, yes, this is mad. But then you should also get professionals look of things. Try to connect to one or two people that can critique your work without making you feel totally bad. You feel bad, but not totally bad. Because I mean you send in your logo and person, a feedback can be, this is crap. And that feedback can be, okay, good attempt. If anybody tells you, okay, good attempt, just know what is coming next is an overall of whatever you have done. So that is constructive criticism when person tells you, okay, good attempt, but maybe try this, try this, try this. And then the probably ashes where you can ever get the feedback is, I'm not sure you thought about this before you started. Go back. That's probably ashes. Because that means, oh, if you spend 3 days brainstorming, person tells you, you know what, I'm not sure you thought about this well. Go and look at other stuff and come back. Person just told you your 3 days is a waste. Like, are you sure I meant to be designing? Because I've been in a group where people are sharing experiences of, oh, their feedback they have gotten, what made them stronger. So certain people believe feedback can break people. Certain people believe feedback helps people. Now, I'm not for any of the school of thought. It's based on who you are. If you as a person takes feedback to your heart and soul, harsh feedbacks are going to break you. But if you are someone that knows this is about the work, it will only make you better. I've been in a situation where first thing I worked on in a company, I worked on a pattern, just a pattern. Oh, sorry, complimentary card for 2 weeks. That is coming to work 9 a.m. working on complimentary card. Not several complimentary cards, just one complimentary card for 14 days, 9 to 5 on one complimentary card. Now it is, you do an option, it tells you, what is this? You're like, but I just spent 3 hours working on this and it tells you go back. Now left to some people, after 3 days, based on I was there for this to work. Move on to that. Yes, got done, but it wasn't to create a this, oh, what's this? Wow. I'm not a machine. This is not what I learned. This is what I came for. The pay can be high, but you're like, I didn't leave school to doing this. I started to work on actual projects, not complimentary cards, all the days of my life. Now that is one take, and that take can be maybe I'm actually not turning out the best I can turn out. Let me see what happens after I continue and continue and continue. So long story short is at the end of the 14 days, I created a pattern that when the person said, I was like, mad, mad, mad. And after that, I'm like, finally. Now, doing midway, I could have said, you know what? I'm dropping it. I'm not coming to work the next day and look for another employment because obviously, that's if I hold it to my chest and say you can't give me feedback like that. Me too, I'm a designer. I know what I'm doing. So you need to find that balance in between knowing when someone wants the best out of you and when someone is just trying to deter you. I've had friends that they have told them, you know what, maybe you should quit design. You can never be a designer in life. I'm not telling you stories. These are my friends, their cases that I've told them. In fact, probably go into coding. Don't try to design. You are not creative. Leave design. And now, to some people, it breaks them. Some people, it can be like, in fact, I'm going to show you that I'm made for this, should I say space? Yes. So at the end of the day, channel your mind, carve out your mind to get the best out of you. Some people are only trying to help you, but because they are designers, they themselves, they are burned out. Sometimes feedback doesn't come easy to them. So they're like, you know what, just get out. Me too, I have work to do. So try not to take it as personal as you can take it. Yeah. Okay. I studied computer science, and unlike what people think, that nothing and nothing to do with design. When I mean nothing, we had a design course in school. When I saw it on my course form, I'm like, introduction to graphic design. In my mind, we're going to be opening Photoshop, Illustrator, but no, we're doing further maths. Yes, vector calculations. You're going to be doing calculations. It is getting the maths behind design. Now they should have called the course math because it was just mathematics throughout the whole semester. Okay, so yeah, yeah, yeah. Like sure. Yes. Most times, most times they don't know what they want. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but child feedback. So that is where the first step, understanding the brief and asking questions, asking the right questions. Like I said, clients might not know what he wants. He only knows how to achieve this. Now, when the clients give you the brief, it's up to you to ask certain questions. Try to push the person's mind into a line where the person can think through something. And also, another midpoint is where a team helps, or a friend, or friends, designer friends help, where you sketch out your ideas on paper. You show certain designers and say, do you think this is nice? Do you think this is nice? Then I've gotten designer's perspective. You go to your normal friends. Let me use that word. You go to people that don't design, are your friends, and say, oh, when you see this, what do you see? When you see this, what do you see? Now, you get a technical breakdown of whatever you have sketched down, and you get a normal user or a user's point of whatever you have sketched down. So you try to now balance and find the midpoint between that, and then deliver to the client. You don't show client sketches most time, because in as much as you have sketched it out, what you are sketching out, you are completing it in your mind. For wireframes, it is boxes and spaces and all of that. You can see a low file. You can see an iFile and then know what it will look like. But even an iFile with logo, you might not exactly know what it will look like when you produce it in your software. So that's why you have to find balance between your normal friends, your designer friends, and then find the midpoints.
Do you guys do product design in your?
Yes.
So how do you think it's necessary for product designers to actually have graphics design knowledge? Because I know like I've said essential is like person has like this understanding.
Okay.
Would you expect a product designer? Because everyone has an opinion, everyone is opinion. So it's like, do you want the product designer to way that they are not knowledgeable about this part of itself?
Okay, so my answer to that is very tricky. As a product design, having knowledge of graphic design is not compulsory, but it's necessary. Why I say it's not compulsory is because you can always go on with a product design without having the entire knowledge of graphic design. But if you're a grounded product designer, you know the basic principles of design, from typography to alignment to color principles to typography, and basically the basic design principles. But as a graphic designer, you have pushed things beyond limits. You have done photo manipulations, you have done certain things. So if you have knowledge of a full graphic designer, your product design won't exactly look like every other product out there. You'll be able to customize to an extent, because you know you have no limitations, quote unquote, now, where you can say, oh, I'm having this mad idea in my head, but I don't know how to implement it. Since I don't know how to implement it, I'm going to stick what I know. That's why I say it is necessary, but it is not compulsory. And it's always best is the advantage for product designers is working in a team, where you can just sharply meet your colleague and say, you know what, I have this idea. This is how it is in my head. Can you just help me do something? So I see how it fits into what I'm designing. Recently, we're working on an app in the office, and then 3 different people worked on the app. A guy did the illustrations. From the illustrations, the product designer took it up from there. Now, if we gave it to the product designer alone, those illustrations will not be made. The app is going to just be colors and what he or she is limited to. So having the knowledge, having the experience. Now, if we give the person that illustrated it, he has the knowledge of UI design and product design. He's going to go beyond board because, first of all, he can illustrate. So he's going to probably create custom illustrations and then put in knowledge of UI and UX that he has and product design. And then it comes out more custom than what a product designer will have done. So it is not one requires one or one does not require one. But it's always better if you have the knowledge of it. So even if you can't do it, you can always pass it along to someone that can do it and pass off your ideas in a very sensible way. But yes, graphic designers are kings. I said it because as a graphic designer, you definitely know how to do UI UX.
Not UX.
Not UX. Thank you. Not UX. You will know UI. You will know UI. Now, the trick is you can know UX. Why? Because you yourself are a user. Doing posters and doing certain things like logos, you have an idea of how a client interacts with certain things. Doing a poster, you know, people read from left to right, people read from top to bottom. Doing a roll-up, you know, people read from bottom, middle, and top. In as much as people don't target that, that's the experience of the user. So when you're designing a roll-up banner, you put the important thing in the middle because that's the eye length of any random user. The roll-up is about 8 feet or 7 feet. So if a random person is standing, an average person is 5'9", 5'8", average height of male, average height say 5'5", 5'6" of female. So at the end of the day, their eye level is going to be at the center of the roll-up. That's what they are going to see first. So you put your main message in the center. You put the link because they're not going to read up like this. Nobody reads up. So first thing they see is the middle. Next thing is to glance down. So you put your contact information below, and then other relevant information like the name of the company, the logo. If this caught their attention and this has caught their attention, they will go up to see which company is that. That's user experience already. That's the experience. Now, that's what I said. Is a part just a part of it. It's just a part of it.
But when it comes to like moving all those things, it's also I do small graphics.
So I'm not
explaining visual hierarchy. Also apply visual hierarchy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I said art, but not.
I'm not. Nobody is saying full user experience. Even a UI designer, doesn't have the full experience. Even a UI designer doesn't know full of a UX of the experience, because in as much as you have done product design 1,001 times, each user is different in his own case. It only gives you an edge, just like how graphic design gives you an edge over designing for a product. As a UI designer, you have an edge of UX over a graphic designer. Everybody's a user. Everybody knows a workflow, but everybody has advantage over everybody. A UI designer might have UX knowledge of say 70%. A graphic designer have knowledge of 30%. That's where collaboration comes in, where people can work hand in hand, and then UX is 100%. So
During your company, when you employ people, do you also indulge in employing this?
for now, we employ product designers. Yeah. So as a product designer, you have an idea, you have a good grasp of UX. We don't currently have a UX researcher or a UX writer that does focus groups and does research, that does personas and all of that, because that is not our focus as an agency. Our focus as an agency, we're branding agency, more of branding. So it is, we're in Nigeria first of all. So a man must eat. So we employ product designers that have ideas of these things, and then we run it by people that are non-designers in the office and say, you know what, take this, look to it. Now the range at which we do our research might not be large, but to an extent, it will cover at least 70% of the user base of what we are trying to design for. So that way, it's not extensive, but it goes by. Get my point? It is enough. It is just there. So that's the thing. Yes. So UI UX designers, they most have knowledge of UX research, personas, writing case studies, and can design. For product designers, they can design, but nobody wants to be called a UI designer, so they call themselves product designers. Most times they have a very strong point in UI and a low point in UX. So they can do these things, but it's not their strong point. But for UX person, the person most likely started from UX. For you to know user experience, to some extent, or to a large extent, you will know how to create an interface that can relate to your experience.
If you have someone that, if you have people that can actually use experience, proficient, and can also do
User interface, yeah.
proficient. Why don't you hire them instead of hiring a product designer that actually does design?
Yeah, because for us, we are not focused on product design. No, we are not focused on product design. We're focused on branding. So that's the side. So for companies that are focused on, say, product design, like give an example, Leslie works. Team up churn out products day by day. As an agency, we don't churn out products, but Team up products, they churn out products, so they need more of UX specialists and then product designers. So UX research already does all the research, does this, create personas, create focus groups, passes it on to then it does the lo-fi, does the hi-fi, passes it on to the product designer. So when you give the product designer a lo-fi, hi-fi, and then your case studies, he understands what you have done, but he didn't do the UX, so he understands what you're doing. But for us, what we are creating isn't exactly, we don't churn out product that much, so it is, should I say, safer or better to get a product designer that understands. So if we contact our UX research to someone else and bring it back into the company, the product designer understands what has been done and then run from there. So that's how it is. Well, at the end of the day, we are one. So any other question? Okay, there's meant to be I don't know, take home, but I'm not going to give a take home. It's what I'll be dropping is an employment opportunity. So I'll send a link to the brief that I'll give out to our prospective employees. So if you're feeling like it, if you are feeling like it, you do it. If you are not feeling like it, it's up to you.
It should be probably a logo.
It's a full. Huh? It's a full. What's it? Yeah, it's a logo. Logo, and then
The branding.
it's a branding exercise. Yes, a branding exercise. We have a UI UX exercise also. So in case you're interested, so I'm going to send it to. I'll probably give it to Taiwo or Ope, and then they can share it with you. So I'll drop my email also. If you're feeling like submitting, you submit.
What we should do is that thing where we follow you on Twitter and then follow all of us.
That's my phone. Okay, so
What am I doing?
who is told me? Okay. Yeah. So feel free to DM me. I won't air your DM. I'll try not to air your DM. Ah, please ask God, not me. Who is Nwafo? Who's Nwafo? Who? You? Okay. I guess that's my one. Who is Anu? Okay.
If I may, so these days are not bad. You can remind me of the Sunday, the guy already told you now. He said, no, but he said it now. He said it is promising that you may pay the phone.
Okay, so just in case, send me an email. That's my email address. I'll respond to you in 3 to 5 working days. Who is the honorable here? Who is the honorable Taufik? Sir. Sir. Okay. So feel free to DM me anytime. Ask me any question.
Wait, check Zoom. Some guys are on Zoom.
Okay.
They probably recommend it.
Yeah, okay, so I'm guessing there's no question here. Yeah. Okay. So shoot me an email, message me on Twitter. You guys are going for usable. I hope you don't get stuck in traffic.
No, once it's very fast. Okay, was like 30 past 6. Because of guest session. So now we don't feel the guest session now. What get no wrong.
That's all. Thank you guys for having me.
Godwin, well done. No? Hello? Yeah, I'm late to the class. I came last. Oh my God.